Today, we are covering the first 5 months of 2023. This is real estate for the state of Colorado. How is real estate? How is the housing market in the whole state of Colorado? I'm going to break it down and we're going to look at the Colorado Association of REALTORS report for the month of May up through May. Let's go. All right, these are the market trends for the state of Colorado, and this was published June 14th, so we're not too far out from that. So the title says Concert Tickets or Homes, the Search is Demanding, Inventory Limited, and Prices are Ticking Up. So what I like to call this is the Colorado Real Estate Mixed Trends Report, because that's basically what we're seeing, and I'll just give you the summary here now, is that what we're seeing in Colorado is very similar to what we're seeing in Colorado Springs, where I live, and is similar to what's happening nationwide, is that you had prices that took a tumble in the second half of 2022 during the second half of summer on, and then as of January 2023, prices have started to come back up, and people are not sure what to make of that. Everybody's predictions are getting annihilated. They're wrong, and I'm wrong right there with them. Right at the beginning of the article, it says, despite a double-digit percentage bump in new listings coming to the market in May, limited inventory continues to create challenges for potential buyers, while many others are being kept at bay by an average 7% interest rate on a 30-year mortgage. Although the metro area and statewide median price remains down from last spring and summer's record highs, the combination of factors over the past several months has helped push prices for single-family homes across Colorado up slightly for the fourth straight month, and 3 out of the last 4 months for condos and townhomes. Statewide, 8,678 single-family new listings hit the market in May, up nearly 12% from a month prior, but down more than 22% from May 2022. Another 2,600 plus condo/townhome new listings arrived across Colorado as well, up 15.5% from April, but down 14.6% from a year prior. A little further down, they quote Denver metro area realtor Karen Levine, where she says buyers have more opportunity and a bit less pressure, but shouldn't get complacent, as that well-priced, good-condition property in that just right location is experiencing multiple offers in just a few days on the market. Sellers, if you're looking for top dollar, then your home better be priced right on, and your condition needs to be superior to your competition. Being right is what's most important in this fickle market. Right after that, we get a quote from Fort Collins realtor Chris Hardy, who says, now more than ever, the variables present in the marketplace are creating challenges for sellers and buyers alike. Searches are taking longer. Buyers are willing to wait for the Goldilocks home, the one that is just right. Potential sellers aren't selling because they like their sub 3% mortgages and don't see value in making a move up purchase right now. Yet demand for housing remains at an all-time high, and homes are selling at a faster rate than they were in December, January, or February. This isn't just one housing market, it's half a dozen or more housing markets, all with a specific socioeconomic demographic that is searching for balance. You might say the market for buyers and sellers is all over the road until both find the lane that's moving in a mutually profitable direction. I find that interesting, and I just read word for word what these two agents said because I thought it was just such a great summary and overall vantage point of what's happening in our housing markets in the state of Colorado, specifically in Colorado Springs, and from what I've seen in Denver, also is very similar in how buyers kind of left the market in the last half of 2022 because they got concerned when the interest rates went up, and people were thinking, okay, they've gone up to 6 and 7%. I'll just wait until they come back down to say 4%, and then I'll do something. And then when that didn't happen, and we got into the spring of this year, is when the buyers who said that said, well, nothing's happened. I guess this is the new normal. And so we've approach to that new normal kind of market where more buyers who still want or need to buy are perhaps getting that pressure into, okay, I've got to do something at some point. Our price is just going to continue going up because if that's the case, then I guess I better buy now. This is the historical median sales price year to year from last year to this year for the Denver metro region specifically. We'll look at statewide right after this. But so for May 2023, for a single family home, the median sales price was $632,000. That is a 2.8% drop from last year to year last year. And that's actually a 3.3% gain from last month, from April. And so if we're going to look at condos and townhouses, the median sales price for May is 430,000, and that's a 1.4% change from last year to year, and that's a 3.9% gain month to month from April to May. Now, if we look at statewide, the median sales price for a single family home for the whole state of Colorado is at 575,000. That's a 3.4% drop year over year and a 1.8% gain month over month. Then for townhouses and condos, the median sales price is $427,500. That's a 1.7% drop year over year, and that's a 1.8% gain month over month. Now, some of the highlights that this report covers in what we just looked at in May 2023, comparing that to last year, May 2022, is that sold listings increased nicely from April to May, but are down roughly 25% from a year prior and remain well off the typical spring volume of recent years. Percent of list price received remains flat as sellers are receiving just over list price across property types in the Denver metro area and just under list price statewide. Homes were moving faster again in May 2023, but nowhere near the pace from a year prior. Average days on market dipped to 26 days for all property types in the Denver metro area, more than double where things were a year ago. Statewide, the number slipped from 47 days in April to 40 days in May for single family homes, also nearly double where things were in May 2022. Now, this is a fun chart. You can just pause this and just stare at it for a while. This is the 7-county Denver metro area graph chart. And so it's got all the new listings for May, and it shows you what May of 2023, the new listings, 4,914 new listings for May for that 7-county area. And if you want to compare that to last year, May 2022, you had 6,391 new single family listings. So we're looking at what does that say? 23.1% drop in new listings for the month of May year over year. So you can see this in a graph form now. So the green is single family, the blue is townhouses and condos. So on the left, you'll see for the month of May specifically. Next to that, you'll have year to date. So what the 7 counties have done all the way up through the end of May. And so very similar numbers to what we've had for the month of May is what we're also trending for the year in terms of how much fewer new inventory, new listings have been available to purchase for both single family homes and townhouses and condos. And then this one is statewide. So same deal. It's just now if you apply it to the whole state, this is what this looks like. Again, it's a 22.5% dip in new listings for the month of May statewide as opposed to May 2022. A 21.9% drop year over year if we're looking at year to date in new listings for the state of Colorado. So with the decrease in new listings, with the days on market increasing over last year, that tells me that there's just a slower demand overall for Denver County. Similar trends I would see in Jefferson County, particularly in Arvada and Golden, and that's where the median sales price for single family homes dropped by 2.1%, and new listings decreased by 26.3% compared to the previous year. So this increased days on market is giving sellers more time, but it's also giving buyers more uncertainty. For Aurora specifically, inventory is also very low there. Same as last year, pretty much. Prices look to be about 2 to 9% less than what they were at this time last year. And they're making it sound like it's a bad thing or, oh, they went down 7%. But I'm like, okay, they went down more and then they've come back up for the summer. So you've just got the seasonal up and down that I'm seeing right now. But home prices are almost as high as they were last year. It's just not, they haven't grown. They just came down and then it almost came back up to where they were. Here it says the nice homes priced well and well maintained are selling fast with multiple offers. There you go. Same as it is down here in Colorado Springs, where if it's priced right and it's move-in ready and it's clean, it goes and it goes fast. You know, that's what buyers want. So since there's not a lot of inventory, that's available, the buyers that are in the market tend to be picky, and some of them can wait. So it's really in your best interest as a seller, as a homeowner, to make your house shine and look its best and be in its most ready state to sell. Because majority of the buyers looking right now are buyers that want something that's move-in ready. Boulder is a little bit different. I mean, their inventory is still down. Um, the inventory is down 20% in Broomfield and 11% in Boulder. Buyers are requiring concessions to get assistance with the interest rate, and median prices have declined 6% since the beginning of the year. Hello, those are words. As expected, average days on market has increased from about 30 days to 60 days, and sales price slash list price has gone from 108% to 99%. So they're getting 99% of their asking price instead of 100%, instead of 8% above what they were asking for. So sellers are still getting a great price for their home, but they need to expect a bit of negotiation and have more patience. Buyers are thrilled to no longer have to outbid their competitors and are enjoying taking a bit more time to make a decision. Our market will likely hold into a steady, even summer while consumers adapt to this change in our market, said Boulder Broomfield realtor Kelly Moy. Interesting. So Boulder and Broomfield are doing a little bit worse in terms of their prices not going up with this year. They're actually declining since this year. Colorado Springs specific info is pretty clear to me. I mean, it's stuff I already know, but down units sold is down 25% year over year. The median sales price is 3.7% less now or at the end of May than it was last May. Yeah, that still tracks today. We're still about 3 or 4% under the last year over year sales prices. And yeah, our inventory is down about in the 25% range. The rest of what they talked about within Colorado Springs is actually just talking about the economy in general, what's going on in Germany. Apparently, they're in a recession, what the Fed's going to do. None of this is really Colorado Springs specific. Uh, Also saying, hey, with interest rates hitting 7%, you can feel the buyers pause. They don't want to jump out of a 3.5% rate into a 7% rate. Fair enough. Crested Buttes market looks to be pretty interesting overall. There are actually more properties for sale, just a little bit more than this time last year. There are twice as many condos for sale in Mount Crested Butte than last year. Uh, Properties are staying on the market longer, even with more available. At at least 45% to almost to more than doubling in some areas for the days on market. The median and sales prices are still increasing. Even with the inventory increasing, it still doesn't seem to be enough to curb the buyer demand that they have over there. Increasing inventory and continued buyer interest. The real estate market should be busy this summer and a good time to explore opportunities. Denver County specifically, you're looking at about a third fewer sales between now and this time last year. So a lot fewer sales and fewer listings as well. Small margin of difference for condos. Denver's freestanding category saw 29.3% fewer sales, 542 to be exact, last month, compared to 767 in May 2022. With supply being where the conversation usually heads in these instances, there is a discrepancy between the data as 19 to 20% fewer homes came on the market. That easily accounts for two-thirds the sold data, but what about the rest? Well, that can be explained by a far slower demand than last year, which is translated as days on market. While the average home was on the market for 7 days last May, that number jumped 143% to 17 days this year, a staggering increase which forces the seller to be a little more patient and provides the buyer a little more breathing room. Yeah, 17 days is better. I mean, if you're talking about if you want buyer to really have some more breathing room, I'd say 30, even 60 days. Really nothing wrong with seeing a house sit on the market for 60 days. That would be, what I would expect to see in a balanced market between buyers and sellers. Just to make you aware, even 17 days is still not a lot of time. That's 2.5 weeks before it takes an offer, so that's still relatively quick. By comparison, the days on market figure was fairly average in May prior to 2020, however, sales were not. In May 2016, we saw 759 freestanding homes sold, 716 in 2017, 782 in 2018, 786 in 2019, 417 in the weirdest of weird years, 2020, 730 in 2021, and 766 just a year ago, said Denver area realtor Matthew Loprino. For Denver Metro overall, you had fewer new listings, fewer homes under contract, and fewer homes that closed. So here it says what we did experience was more time for buyers to make decisions, as homes stayed on the market for an average of 26 days compared to just 11 days a year ago. You actually had slightly more single family homes now than you did last year. So 2.4% more today than last year, meaning buyers had 5,606 homes to choose from compared to just 5,475 homes last May. And then attached condos and townhouses, you actually saw fewer of those this year than you did last year. So 1,460 units in May compared to 1,836 units a year ago. Days on market did increase, as we also saw with single family homes. Townhouse/condos were on the market an average of 26 days compared to just 10 days in May of 2022. Inventory for both of these has increased. Single families at 1.8 months of supply of inventory, and townhouses and condos are at 1.4 months of inventory. There's a brief summary here on kind of what this means and how we're supposed to interpret this information, whether you're looking to buy a property in the Denver area, or well, I guess statewide, anywhere in the state, or sell one. But basically, what's happening is that inventory is so low, but in a lot of places, the days on market has actually increased anyway, meaning that homes are sitting on market for a little bit longer before they go under contract. So as the buyer, you have a little bit more breathing room. You don't necessarily have to see a house on the day that it goes active because it may be under contract same day or the next day. That can still happen. That is still happening, I will admit. But it very much depends on how the seller and listing agent have priced that property. If they overpriced it or priced it at market value, I wouldn't expect it to necessarily fly off the shelf same day. If they're underpricing it to really push it to move fast, then that's where I would expect to see something like, jumping off the market quickly. But overall, you have more time as a buyer, as homes are sitting generally longer on the market, and you're still experiencing multiple offers in some situations when you have just the right property. And so when you're looking to sell property, even though your competition is limited, there's not a lot of inventory. Keep in mind that there are also not a lot of buyers. So the buyers that are here are very serious, and they are typically have been looking for something for a while, and they're very nitpicky. because there's just not much on the market, and so they just kind of get into that a picky sort of mode of, okay, I either have to compromise and make a lot of sacrifices, or I just wait it out, continue to live in my current living situation if they can make it work, and just wait it out. So, as the seller, as the homeowner, it's really in your best interest to make your property look its best. When that comes to photography, when that comes to uh, cleanliness, tidiness, organization of everything in your house when you're getting it ready to show for pictures. It's very important because that's the first thing that people see when they're looking your property up online. Douglas County has a very interesting synopsis, we'll say, and I'll just read it to you. The May market in Douglas County is best described by all or nothing conditions. Increased inventory of normal listings compensated for 7% plus mortgage rates on the buy side, causing an increase in market velocity. However, a lack of exceptional quote unquote listings drove prices up and days on market down from April. The state of the top tier market segment, that is, homes priced well, in excellent condition, or both, was reminiscent of the spring 2022 frenzy. Cash offers, appraisal gaps, escalation clauses, and bidding wars were not uncommon in May. However, you'd only find such demand in that top decile of listings. For the average listing, a few showings in the opening weekend was the best case scenario, as monthly housing costs continued to discourage entry to mid level buyers. Yeah, it's very expensive to buy a house right now. The median sales price of single family homes increased slightly month over month to $725,000 in May, but remains down 5% from May 2022's $756,000. You see that again, where we're almost, there's actually a bigger, there's a 30K discrepancy in there, although you are in the $750,000 price point here. So, yeah, you're almost at the same height that home prices were last summer, even in Douglas County. Days on market significantly decreased by 32%, down to 26 days from April, which is relatively natural for this time of year. Yep. The most significant statistic in the single family market was the percentage of list price received, which reached 100.1% in May, driven higher by the aforementioned bidding wars on exceptional listings. So, yeah, 100.1%. So they're getting 0.1% over their listing price or their asking price on average. The condo slash townhouse segment tells a much different story, where the early stages of a contraction may be appearing. Days on market surprisingly increased by 4 days month over month to 40 days. Okay, so it's at 40 days now. A curious twist considering the lack of multifamily inventory in the county. Prices did increase slightly, but the number of sold listings remained consistent between April and May at 105 and 106 units, respectively. With zoning density being a hot issue in local politics, it will be interesting to see the effects of changing inventory on this segment in the near future, says Douglas County area realtor Cooper Thayer. Durango looks to have a similar thing going for it, where they've got a decline in new listings and then in sales, but then their prices are also increasing because the demand is there. So, May 2023 Durango highlights include for single family homes, new listings experienced a 12% decrease compared to May 2022. Sold listings dropped by 38.8%. The median sales price increased by 2.6% at 785K. Average sale price increased by 6.6% to 950K. That is interesting. So, year over year, prices are actually higher in Durango than they were last year, is what it's saying. Wow. Inventory of homes for sale fell 8.8%. So less for sale, that 8.8% less for sale than last year. Months of inventory is at 3.2, a slightly tighter spring selling season volume. Yeah. Here at 4 to 6 months is what people consider a balanced market. So 3.2, you're almost there. But interestingly, your prices are still increasing here in Durango. For townhomes and condos, The a number of listings decreased by 14% year over year. Month supply at 2.6 months of inventory. Median price for townhomes and condos rose 26% to 460K. Wow. Estes Park also has an interesting market where they went from crazy multiple offer situation to now it's a bit more quiet, but the home prices for townhouses and condos is increasing, and that's 11.7% year over year, while single family homes are down 2.9% in prices year over year. So, and then the average days on market for single family homes is at 50 days. That is 61.3% longer than year over year than last year. Townhouses and condos are at 56 days, average days on market, and that's 25.3% shorter than May last year. So interesting. The average price for a single family home in Larimer County is $669,016, and townhouse condo average sits at $464,810. Okay. Traditionally, inventory is low and getting even lower. Single family homes are being listed at an average of 12.9% less than last year, and townhome condos are being listed less too, with a dip of 4.1% compared to May last year, says Abby Pontius. The realtor that chimed in for the Fort Collins part of this article is talking about, if your house is in good shape and if it's for under 500K, is it going to sell quickly? Yeah, probably. The median price is at 595K in Fort Collins, and that's down 5%, apparently, looks like year over year. Homes on average for full are selling for full price as opposed to 5% over asking like last summer. Properties active on the market are up 46.7% from last May, yet sales are down 7%. So days on market, houses are just sitting on the market longer. Looks like they're comparing that to you can either buy a pre-built home or you can get a new construction home, which might be have a better price, but then you're going to get stuck being in a metro taxing district for the next 30 years with a special mill levy. So your property taxes are going to be, several $1,000s more than anybody else's. Well, than somebody whose house is a bit older and more established, let's say. The toughest part about this type of market is that sellers still expect a premium list price for their homes despite interest rates still over 7%. Sellers in the more interest rate sensitive price points have gotten the message a little quicker since first time home buyers, who typically make up more than a third of the home buying market, are still on the sidelines waiting for those interest rates to come down. Sellers in this price range have had to lower their expectations to accommodate the vacuum of qualified buyers. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I agree with that. The challenge here is finding exactly the right home. If a home in this price range in the 700s is overpriced by 20K, it will sit on the market for weeks until a buyer comes along and makes a lower offer, or the seller drops the price to attract a broader spectrum of buyers. Condition and location are playing much larger roles in decisions to buy than they have in years past. If the home isn't in pristine condition, sellers should price aggressively. If the home has some location stigmas, like it backs to a busy street, adjacent to high tension power lines, again, the seller will need to accommodate price to offset these kinds of material defects. I like who this is. Who is this? Realtor Chris Hardy in Fort Collins. Cool. Now more than ever, the variables present in the marketplace are creating challenges for sellers and buyers alike. Searches are taking longer. Buyers are willing to wait for the Goldilocks home. Potential sellers aren't selling because they like their sub 3% mortgages and don't see value in making a move up purchase right now. Yet, demand for housing remains at an all time high. Even with 2 months of inventory for sale, homes are selling at a faster rate than they were in December, January, or February. Yeah, I think we read this part already. Jefferson County, Arvada, and Golden. Single family homes is now the median sales price is at $700,000, which is a 2.1% dip from last year. New listings are down 26.3%. Average days on market has gone up to 18 days. Condos and townhomes median sales price is at 430,000. New listings down 25.6%, and a whopping 266% increase over this time last year in average days on market. So dramatic. 22 days. 22 days on market now, which is way more than what they typically do, but okay. Oh, Pueblo. Let's see what Pueblo's doing. New listings down 21% year over year, and down 18.3% year to date. Pending sales down 10% year over year, down 22% year to date. Um, May had just 220 sales in Pueblo. Median sales price in May is 300K. That's down 11.8% year over year, and down 1.6% year to date. The percent of list price received also dropped 1.5% in May to 98.9%. Okay, so on average, sellers are getting on 98.9% of what they're asking for. Sellers are having to make concessions to get homes sold, and that is contributing to an increase in average days on market, which is at 91 days now. Wow. Yeah, I'm generally not seeing concessions, sellers giving concessions or needing to do that in the Colorado Springs market. Let me know if you see different in any market, but it's interesting to see that that's happening in Pueblo here. That's something just to be expectant of. It's just going to take longer in Pueblo. 91 days. Yeah. Um, New building permits hit 40 in May and 12 in Pueblo West. First 5 months of the year, 144 permits, down 48% from the first 5 months of last year. Open houses are happening, but potential buyers aren't showing up, said Pueblo realtor David Anderson. In Steamboat Springs slash Root County, homes are getting 99.2% of their asking price on average, and then townhomes and condos are getting 101.6% of their asking price. Interesting. May, there was 15% fewer single-family new listings, fewer 13.8% active listings, and fewer 28% multifamily new listings, and 12.5% fewer active listings than the prior year. While this resulted in 38.5% fewer homes going under contract, the number of homes sold was equivalent to last year. Very interesting. Multifamily is almost 30% fewer homes under contract, almost 38% fewer properties sold, 3 month supply for single family, 1.5 months of supply for multifamily. So interesting, we're talking about multifamily here too. We weren't necessarily getting that information with the other parts of the state. Median and average sales prices were down for both categories for May 2022. Summit, Park, and Lake counties, the median sales prices were down 10.3%. Sold properties down 19.2% year over year. Active listings up 3.4%, lower than they'd seen in the last couple of months. Higher inventory percentage compared to the fewer sales percentage for months, which leads us to have between a 1 month to an over 6 month supply of inventory, depending on the town. Okay. So but generally, that this is the general info then. Comparing May this year, last year, average sales price dropped 15.9%. Year to date drop is even higher at 16.8%. Average dropped to 1.9 million is the average sales price. Um, Average sales price for residential properties was 1.1 million, and the condo sales price average was $822,856. Sellers received about 97% of their list price. Wow, how fun. Park County's year-to-date average single-family home price hit $646,479, while Lake County's was $500,500. There are 489 residential active listings in the Summit MLS, which is over 100 more than last month, that range from a low-price mobile home in Park County for $130K and a high-priced single-family home in Breckenridge for $19.5 million. Oh, been on the market for 1,023 days. You, wow. Wow. Out of the 113 sales in May, the lowest was a condo in Grant County for 140K, and the highest was a single-family home in Breckenridge for 3 million. These numbers exclude deed-restricted affordable housing, said Summit County Realtor Dana Cottrell. And here's a little picture of Summit Park and Lake counties, and this is the average sales price. They're comparing May of 2023 to last year. So Summit single family is down 17%, and with the average sales price being just under 2 million, essentially 1.9 million. 1,948,385 to be exact. Townhomes in Summit County went up 1.5% to a little over 800K. Park County single family is down 1.8% to 646K. Lake single family is down 14% to 500K. Vale is looking like it is just very seasonal and, rightfully so. Sales for the month of May were down by 44% year over year and down 39% year to date. Single family slash duplex inventory is up by 7%, and condos and townhomes are down by 6%. They say as a driving factor in the sales activity is we need more product in key price niches. We have several new construction projects underway that should be a positive factor in the coming months. Stabilization of interest rates, albeit at a higher level than the recent past, giving sellers more confidence in an exit strategy, because they have to buy. If this trend continues, hopefully our month's supply of inventory, which is still low at 3.3 months, should stimulate sales and continue the trend toward a more normal market. So, there's an adage, you come to the valley for the skiing and then stay for the summer lifestyle. The high peaks still have some snow, however. The rivers are running high, the golf courses are open, as are most of the hiking and biking trails. These are the reasons why the summer has become a greater factor in real estate sales as the valley evolves, said Vail area realtor Mike Budd. That makes sense. You're going to have to promote Vail as not just wintertime. And if you can make it something people want to go to all year, I guess that's Vail's exit strategy in a sense, or how they increase sales. Here's a chart here's the 7 county Denver metro area, the single family market for May of 2023. So here you can see new listings, under contracts, and you can compare. Um, This year is in bold in the middle, and right on the left, you've got May of last year to compare, and then you've got the percentage change on the right. And then in the next column over, you've got again in bold year to date for 2023. On the left is year to date for 2022, and the percentage change is on the right. So a lot of this information we have already covered. Days on market for 7 county is at 26 days. Month supply, 1.6 months of supply total for that whole county. Median sales price is at 632,000. Average sales price is $8 below 750K, like literally. Statewide, median sales price 575K. Average sales price 380. 2 months worth of supply, 40 days on market for statewide. Not sure if that helps. Not really. Real estate's local. But if you want to pause this to see these specific numbers, these are fun. I don't want to take up too much of your time. 7-county inventory of active listings. You can see that as a chart here if you want to pause that and look at it in more depth. Statewide, these are the active listings as a chart. Again, if you want to pause that. These are the market trends for the state of Colorado, where we looked at some different parts of the state, specifically different counties and cities, just to take a look at some more generalized local stuff going on in Colorado. But overall, this is what's going on with the housing market. I hope that it was helpful to you and gave you some good takeaways for what you want to do with your future real estate needs. I am a real estate agent. My name is Kevin James Bond with Remax Real Estate Group. I work primarily within Colorado Springs and in that area. I do occasionally work with clients in Denver and Pueblo as well. So, but I just find this info fascinating, and apparently you do too because you're here. So, welcome. Glad you're here. Click the like and the subscribe to stay in touch with me on this, and I will see you in the next one.